Day 1 of asking Mudan to get a proper night's sleep. Well, give me like 31 more days. Today is the final monthly recap, as by this time next month, I'm gonna be home. So if you have had any questions, recommendations, ideas, things to improve upon, we're gonna see them today, and I'll try to answer to the best of my abilities. And if you have any new questions, suggestions, whatever, then too late. You had 11 months. How did you get a Japanese passport and how quickly? So this bad boy cost me around 6,000 yen, and I'd say it took me like 5 minutes to get it. Solid stuff. Question for Mudan. Do you think Estonia will smell better than Japan? I don't know if it smells better, but it will smell crispier. When I came to Japan, it didn't have a distinct smell to it. I guess because of the water content in the air or whatever, the moistness, it was like a bit stuffier. But in terms of smelling, I would say it's the same. But yeah, European air, crispier. I like that. It's like, oh. 5 months ago, I was asked, how do I enjoy a place while also going through the process of documenting it as a vlog? And I answered, no idea. Maybe 300 days in, I'll know the answer. And 36 days in, I can say, yeah, I kind of have figured it out. The solution is get good. 150 days ago, I still sucked. You know, it was hard. Kind of like riding a bike at the beginning. You have to consciously put an effort into thinking, okay, left foot, right foot, hold the steering wheel, whatever. Now, it just comes naturally. I don't think about capturing a specific moment or at an angle. I just put the camera up and I already know what I'm filming. Of course, it's not perfect. I still have to focus a bit on it, but yeah, I do feel like the only answer is getting good at making videos. So you know what to capture without even thinking about it. I did want to try going to a bar, but I have one issue, that is the number of persons I'm bringing with me. Like a family trip. I didn't want to left anybody out. What do you think? Japanese bars are quite small. Do you think they will allow more 3 or 4 person in their bar? Okay, so the question is, how many people can you bring into a bar on average? And I'd say going out with more than 4 people starts to become a kind of a chore. I'd say 5 is the maximum, as that's the amount of people you can casually fit in a taxi. So unless you're going to a small bar area like Golden Guy, where there is in most bars only 5 seats, then you should be fine. As there aren't that many small bars, I'd say on average, if you go bar hopping, there's gonna be like 10 seats. And if you're going on a busy night, when it's like Friday or weekend, then you're not gonna get any places. Even in Golden Guy, even if you go during the weekday, if it's like earlier in the day, you can still get like place for 5 people. But if you go later, you're gonna be out of luck. And most other bars, let's say sports bars or larger bars, they do have quite a bit more range. So yeah, don't make it a class trip, but 5 people maximum, 3 optimal. If that makes sense. Hello, Mr. Mudan-san. I'm a big fan of Disco Elysium and I'm thinking of visiting Estonia next year. Do you have any tips what to see there, or if it's worth visiting? If you're visiting Estonia because of Disco Elysium, then I don't know if I'd recommend it. If you want to see Estonia, like sure, it can be a cool, interesting place, depends on what you like about traveling, but I don't know if those two put together is a good thing. Day 39 of asking Mudan sent out a form at the end of the year for us to vote the top 10 videos in the 365 days in Japan, a MooTube rewind. Well, why do I need a MooTube rewind if I already have it? This is top 5. Numero 5, top 5 best Mudan moments! Exclamation mark. No, that's asterisk. Based on popular vote. Mine. Let's check it out. We got the first time we went to Maid Cafe with Foxy. He wasn't too impressed. He did the Mwe Kyung. Number 5. I had to speedrun every temple. Wow, Lush Fruit really was shocked to meet every temple. Number 4. Raw dogging Mount Fuji. I feel like this is over-exaggerated. It was fine. I wasn't screaming on the ground, alright? Number 3. Moomin Valley. Oh wow. So true. Hashtag relatable. Chat, am I right? Number 2. This is when we beat each other up with Mr. Unicorn. Number 1. Look. I moved to Japan, a surprise. That's gonna be me in a month, but I'll have more bags. Yippee! Thank you, Maria. You're the best. Good moments. We don't need any more moments, alright? Is Japan usually this warm during winter? I'm freezing over here in Europe. Depends what part of Japan. Okinawa, insanely warm compared to European winter. Hokkaido, same. I don't know what else to say. Just depends where you go, but Tokyo, it's pretty warm. It's kind of rare if it snows, I'd say. Currently, it's January and today it was like 10 degrees outside. I think February it's gonna be like 5 during the day. It's good. I'm curious, how much sleep do you get considering your schedule? Well, let's check it out. I got this Fitbit like 1 month into being in Japan. And that means I can do a yearly recap of my sleep. Not enough is the answer. Not enough. Oh, thank God. I was looking at 2025. Right. Oh my God. I was like, no way. 6 hours and 4 minutes? But okay, that's fine because it's 2025. So, in last year, my yearly average was... Shit. So when I was cycling throughout Tokyo in the middle of the night, I showed myself passing deer and I said, oh, look at the deer made out of straw. And you asked, can you show an image of how deer made out of straw look like? And here you go. That's it. I mean, it wasn't anything that special. It's like a basic Christmas decoration. B tier video. I didn't like the subject, but the video was still fun. This is my Jujutsu Kaisen. All right, less healers. What is your suggestion on an S+ tier video? Like what video would be an S+? I would like 5 video ideas in my table by this time tomorrow. Thank you. Isn't there a Studio Ghibli museum? Would love to see that. Couple problems with the Studio Ghibli museum. I wanted to go there as well, but first of all, you can't film inside there. Like, that's a big no-no. Secondly, you can't even get in because the waiting lines are like 2 to 3 months because everybody wants to go in there. So yeah. Nah, not gonna happen. I made a video where I went out with Livakivi and I did osusume, which means recommendations. You go to a bartender, ask what bar they would recommend next, and then you go there. And what a fun idea though. Isn't it considered poor manners to ask the owner of the bar where you would like to take your business? Like, is the place you're not at not good enough? Are you not having fun? Are the prices too high? I mean, most of the answers are going to be yes, but still, absolutely not at all. In fact, they kind of... In most bars, they want you out as fast as possible. Not in a mean way, like, oh, get the fuck out, get your drink, go, leave now. But more so, they want more clients, as most bars have a seating charge, which is like 500 to 1,000 yen. Sometimes it's as much as the drink itself, if not more. And in most bars, because they're very small, they also have a limit. So you already have like an hour-long limit to stay at a bar, because they want, you know, to churn customers. Because most bars have more customers than they have room. So for their business, it's better to just drink, get out. And especially like Golden Guy, you want to go in, get a drink, and go to a different bar. Japan is different in terms of Western bars where you don't sit down with your mates and drink for like 5 hours straight. You just sit down, drink, go to another one. And yeah, sure, it still takes as long. Like, you're still spending 5 hours with your mates, but you're just doing it in a various amounts of different locations. So no, it's not bad manners. It's actually something I've been taught while being in Japan, that you're supposed to ask the bartenders where to go next, because a lot of the time they know better bars or they have friends in other bars. So it's not like they're recommending a better bar, but they're suggesting their friends to you. And that is also one way to get into bars that are usually off limits for just normal tourists or who don't know what bars exist. So no, this is completely fine. It's not poor manners, at least not in Japan. Mudan, what was the Wagyu restaurant you went to in Sapporo? I'm going to be there in the Snow Festival. Well, let's see. It is Sapporo Steak Night, or maybe that's the night. It's in Annex, IRN. Bro, I don't know, man. Just read this bottom right stuff. One of the mistakes that I kind of regret when coming to Japan that I didn't do is that I didn't write any places down that I liked. I thought, you know, I'm doing daily vlogs, I'm gonna try something new every single day. So whenever I found a good place, I didn't really like note it down like, oh, that's cool, I wanna visit this again. Like, I didn't do anything until pretty much like 2-3 months ago. And I was like, oh, yeah, kinda, I mean, when people come, I wanna recommend them good places because I do a wide variety of things. I go to bad places, good places, meet places. And yeah, I can't remember anything. My brain is fried. Saying this before watching the whole thing, I hope you take a bite of the plastic food. Please fulfill my impulsive thoughts. Doesn't taste too bad. What if you lose an item in the subway on purpose and try to retrieve the item? Japan's lost and found system is interesting. I mean, I did lose an item and it wasn't on purpose, so I don't feel like I need to test it out and do it on purpose, but yeah, it worked. It was fast, it was easy. I don't know if it's like interesting. I haven't really done lost and founds in other countries, so can't really talk about that. Can me as stupid for not realizing you wore the same outfit so long. That still annoys me to this day. Bro, I was just wearing a white shirt for like 30 days straight. Still, moving past that embarrassment, which website is the best to book hotel rooms in Japan? So the only website I use is booking.com. That's been the easiest, and I used to use Airbnb until they kind of screwed me over like 5 times in a row, so I don't use Airbnb anymore. Booking also, you gotta look out for some stuff, like if an apartment looks weird, it can still have some stinkers. And I know Connor says don't even use Booking, just go on Google and type hotels or whatever in your area, because that's supposed to be better, which might work, but Booking has been solid for me, solid, easy, and I don't need to think about much, so don't need to use anything else, at least in my opinion. I hope to make it to Japan one day, just to see if those crane games are as difficult as anyone makes them seem. From my perspective, it's about hitting the correct angles and using physics to your advantage. On multiple tries, it appeared to be as simple as pushing or lifting something completely different spots than what I saw here. In other words, they look far more skill-based than American crane games, which are usually won only when enough money has been spent on them. But I could be wrong, and the cranes don't stop as quickly until a certain amount is spent. Yes and no. While I agree American crane games are like more luck-based, here that applies as well. Because the cranes that are luck-based are the ones that grab into things. It's claw games, like literally claws. And like 100% of the time, if you go into the right place, the claw will grab it. But then it will let go unless it's like the lucky moment where it's actually strong. But in most crane games, I would say like 70% of them, it's not really about a claw grabbing it, it's more like pushing a box or whatever. And while yes, it does seem easy, because like everything's on like the slight little edge, the edges are like rubber. So even if it's on by like a hair, it'll still be on. And yes, I agree, they are more skill-based, but it still means you have to do around 10 to 20 tries per like a machine to win something, which in most cases is usually not worth it, but it's fun. I mean, you're not doing it to win something, you're doing it because you're addicted to losing your money. People can still smoke indoors in Japan. I mean, in businesses like restaurants and bars. Yes, in a lot of bars that I've been to, smoking is allowed. They even ask you, do you want like the ashtray? And we're like, no, do we look like we want cancer? We are cancer. Mudan, have you lose or gain weight by living in Japan for a long time? Neither. Still the same. You could easily fast for 24 hours. This is not a challenge. This was about my crane game challenge where I had to survive on crane game foods. And yes, that is true. But then, wouldn't fasting for 24 hours be a challenge? No, I'm pretty sure that's what people do on a regular basis as well. Everything's a challenge if you want to, you know? Would you drink Mayo Drink for unlimited visa? This Mayo Drink? Which doesn't exist, it's Photoshop. No, absolutely not. And the final question, a genuine question, how are you gonna get all your stuff back home? Are you gonna ship them separately or something? No, because I have movie magic on my side. It's called editing. Like, check this out. That's it. It's done. It's already in Estonia. Alright, thank you all for watching this video. I'll see you guys tomorrow and a normal vlog, and see you. But not after 1 month. Then I'm not gonna see you. Haha. Alright, bye-bye.